everyone. This is Paul from DC World, and we're here with an exclusive interview with young British actor Sam Benjamin himself. Sam, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me on. Hello to the DC World universe.
Thank you. I've got, guys, if you don't know, I've met Sam before, met him in London, and since then he's done quite a lot of other things have happened, and probably a little bit more we can talk about with a certain thing that's released. Yeah. So, firstly, Sam, I'm going to just mention the Few series that's online. Everyone can still watch it now. Tell us about your role and about the show.
So, yeah, The Few is a very unique British superhero series that's online. You can watch it if you do youtube.com/The Few. You can watch it now for free. The first season was very much done on a super low budget. Myself and co-creator Sam Bradford, big DC fans, big comic book fans, and we were thinking, like, why hasn't anyone made a British answer to superheroes? So we created it on a low budget, whatever we could, locations for free, borrowed talent that we knew that could bring, their skills to it. And yeah, it did really well. It won 13 awards. It's a very, gritty, kind of vibe. So if you like your Nolan and your Snyder, I'd say that'd be up your street. And it's definitely more Arrow than Flash. So go check it out. And then, yeah, by kind of the fan reaction and because it's done so well, we've decided to make a second series called The Few Dark Future. And we said to ourselves, if we're going to do a second one, we need to make it bigger, bolder, better, more effects, more action, more story, more origin, deeper characters, a more expansive universe. So with that comes a need for a bigger budget. So that's why this time around we're doing a crowdfunder, so that we can pay everyone and get all of that juiciness in there and have 10-minute episodes instead of 4-minute episodes. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah.
And we think, I'm biased, but I think it's a very special superhero story, and there's elements of it that I think have never been really touched upon in live-action superheroes. So, and we're continuing a mythology of UK characters, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah. Good, yeah. This is one of the only British superhero sort of shows that's going on anywhere. They never see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So no, that's brilliant. And also, you was in Peaky Blinders. I saw you in that one of the episodes, and then Doctor Who and some other stuff you've done as well, which has been brilliant. Highlight so far for you, has it been The Few, or would it be going on to like the Justice League, the scenes?
Oh. What a question. You know what? Years ago, I was listening to an episode of Kevin Smith's podcast, Fat Man on Batman. And Neil Adams, the legendary Batman comic book writer, was on, and Kevin Smith asked him, what is your favorite or what do you think is your best work in terms of comics? And so, the thing I'm most proud of right now is The Few Dark Future.
Yeah.
And we're launching the crowdfunder. I presume it'll be live when this is released, October 22nd. So if you go to @The Few Series on Twitter or @Fewniverse on Instagram, you can go on. We've got some great super perks, as we're calling them. So do check it out. In terms of as an actor, I mean, and funnily enough, there's been a few articles people might have seen about me in the last week to do with Justice League and the Snyder Cop.
Yeah.
And I got cast by Zack Snyder, and I worked with Snyder, got directed by him on Justice League. And we spoke about it in our first interview, but obviously we didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen and what was going on with it. I can't even remember whether at that point when we last spoke, whether Joss Whedon was on it yet, or whether it was still Snyder, or
I think it was still Snyder. Yeah, Whedon hadn't turned up, so it's after.
So obviously all that stuff's happened, and I know there's a big movement for release the Snyder Cut. But that is one of my favourite moments in my career. Just, I'm a Warner Brothers. I grew up with lots of the Warner Brothers stuff, Batman the Animated Series and Animaniacs and all the DC comics, and so it was a dream come true to be on the Warner Brothers lot and filming a role in that. So that's definitely one of the highlights. And working with Zack Snyder I had a blast.
Now, can you, I'll go on from that, because you just mentioned superheroes. I've got some questions from some of the team members at DC World. Now,
yes.
Erin sent this over. She actually lives in LA near Hollywood and works there. And she's asked me, what pulled you into, superhero characters and maybe even more DC?
As a fan, is that? Or
as a fan.
I think it's a combination of, lots of stuff. I think my way in was the character of Batman.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people. I always liked, I think my usual, when it comes to superheroes, I do like them dark and I like them quite gritty. I do enjoy more fun superheroes, the Deadpools and, the more colourful Spider-Mans and things like that. And even, like the Flash.
Yeah.
But my main, and my dad read a lot of, he read a lot of Daredevil, Punisher, which is quite dark, Judge Dredd. But his main guy was Batman as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then I watched the Batman animated series with my dad as a kid on a Saturday morning, and then Tim Burton's Batman, 1989.
Yeah.
I think my auntie gave me the VHS when I was way too young because I think it was a 15 at the time.
It was.
And, and then so that is, and you know what? I was actually watching for inspiration. I went back and watched Batman Returns last night.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say that was it. Aaron, did you say? Is asked that question?
That was for Aaron. Yeah. That was
yeah. Yeah, so that'd be my answer is, Batman animated series, Tim Burton's Batman, and comics that my dad stashed down the side of his toilet in his flat when I was a kid.
Excellent. You probably Adam asked the question, are you more of a Batman or Superman fan? But I think you probably just answered that in that one as well.
Yeah, definitely more of a Batman fan. Although as I've got older, I've got into Superman more. Because when I had this, I don't know that we spoke about the last time, when I was a kid, I always had this thing, and this doesn't make does it make sense? So, for example, when I was the kid that I'd have my action figures.
Yeah.
And if I'd have like Batman and the Joker in my hand, if one of my mates came and was like, "Oh, Spider-Man comes in," I'm like, "No, he's not." That doesn't make any sense. Oh, He-Man's coming in. No, he's not. Yeah. This isn't a He-Man moment right now. So, but I've always had I think Batman is such a unique character, and I think there's some hardcore Batman fans that don't like him in a fantastical universe. They like it really grounded.
Yeah.
So I think that's an obstacle for a lot of people who want to get into Superman and things, but there's something beautiful about Superman that you don't get from Batman in terms of his optimism and just the fact that he's just that earnest quality, and the fact that it's a bit more optimistic, and I don't know, especially when you think of like the Christopher Reeve Superman, it's just it puts a smile on your face and gives you that, So it's like, hey, I can save the day, and we don't have to be moody and walking around, do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Brilliant. I've got you keep yourself in fairly good shape. Some of your Instagram pictures and stuff I've seen in the past. You look after yourself. You keep fit. There, Claire, who's another writer for DC World. She's are you an adrenaline junkie? Do you like skydiving, bungee jumping, or any of them sort of sports?
That's a good question. I don't think I am, but I have this weird love-hate with stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I have a very strong voice going, like, what are you doing that for? Don't do that. But then I do, and being an actor, there's a kind of I guess I'm not an adrenaline junkie in the sense that I'm not, getting on a skateboard and, going down a ramp and doing stuff like that, or skydiving and things, or I haven't skydived, but there's an element of performance in acting where you're kind of walking into the unknown and kind of getting ready to fall flat on your face, although it's not as physically as dangerous. I think, but one of the beauties of acting is, and right now I'm shooting a movie called Vengeance 2, British action movie, hence why I've been staying in as best shape as possible, working with WWE's former Bad News Barrett superstar, Stu Bennett. But on that, there's a lot of fighters and there's a lot of stunt people, and a lot of, live gunfiring and things. So there's been an element of being out of my comfort zone and, using live rounds and getting the crap beaten out of me. So there's definitely been a bit of adrenaline on set there.
Yeah, it gets you going, either buzzing or you're just...
Yeah, or bricking it, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go back to The Few. Obviously, season 2's coming.
Yeah.
Any little tidbits or any parts of the plan you can tell us at the moment for any news in that's happening, or just fans have to wait and see?
In terms of the story?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can say that for those of you who've watched the first one, and for those of you who haven't, go to youtube.com/theview and it's all there. So basically, the first season ended in a bit of a confrontation between the main four characters in the series. And it was like a 2-on-2 kind of scenario. And so you got the rogue detective and you got the 3 superpowered lions, as they're called. And then basically what we do is, and I mulled over this for a while because it's taken me a year to develop and write the script. We now drop in 6 months after the confrontation for the second season. So you dropped in, and then straight away, the first thing is you're like, whoa, who's this new person and what are they doing? And so there's like a new villain introduced very early on that's going to shake things up, rattle the cages, as they say.
Sure.
And then we then start to catch up with the other characters, and we start to go, oh, hang on, that's changed. What's happened there? But then as it goes on, and we get the audience wondering, oh, what's happened there? We start to, with the longer episodes, we can start to do more about origin and flashback. So it kind of, and there's a few twists in there. So yeah, it's very much, and this time has a pretty epic. The first one was, it ran up to an action sequence at the end and it was fairly epic, but this one's going to be truly epic, hence why we're doing the crowdfunder, because we really want to reward the fans that watched the first one, because the first one was quite a bit of a tease. So, it's going to be pretty epic, and the characters are going to be some big, big changes and things that happen to the characters. It's called Dark Future. So, read between the lines there. Yeah.
I'll go, now you're going to be crowdfunding. I'll just go into a little bit of that because I want to get fans on board on this one. So obviously,
thank you.
For the crowdfunding, can you tell us who that's going to be going on with? And obviously not amounts yet, but any of the perks that you come into fans?
Yeah. So it's going to be on Indiegogo. If this is coming out on October 22nd, that's when we're launching it. We're only launching it for 2 weeks. So everyone needs to get in really quick to get the perks. And we've got a great range of perks. Obviously, we know that not everyone has got loads of money, so even just sharing it is great. But we've got a variety from, we've created a special official Few e-card that will be personalised. We've got social media shout-outs. We've got some copies of the script, either digital or, if you want to spend some more, a signed copy of a script. We've got one package with behind the scenes. So we've got a 10-minute Skype chat with the creators. We've got some credits available. You can get yourself officially part of the team as a special thanks or as producers. On-set visit. And then, as I mentioned to you before we went on air, the top super perk is a walk-on part. A bona fide role in the Few. So do have a look. Because I think we got some really special stuff on there. And Sam Bradford and I created it. We're comic book guys. We're superhero fans. So we've hopefully thought about what we would want if we were back in the show. Yes. So, but even on the page, if you want to go on the page now, and there's something that you've got in mind that you were like, oh, hang on a minute, why haven't you done that perk? Then, do drop me a line at Sam Benjamin now on Twitter, or you can message on the Few channels and say, hey, would you consider doing this? And, we're always open because we want it to be for the fans.
Okay, brilliant. Right, you heard that, guys. I'll have all the links on this one. This goes live anyway, so I want to get everyone on board on this, and then you might see something you like. You might want to get a part in the Few, don't you?
Yeah.
You just don't know, do you? So I'll get one, Sam. That is definitely going to happen. Obviously, the Arrowverse picture went online earlier.
Whoa! I didn't even know about that.
Got Augustine in the Arrow outfit and Oliver in the Flash outfit, and this Elseworld story, Batwoman, Superman in the black suit. It's going to be a crazy crossover. Would you love a role, or would there be any specific role you'd like to play in any of these CW or even the DC Universe streaming service now? Any of them shows, any sort of character you'd love to get involved in?
It's a good question. I've actually, now I'm just trying to think. I've auditioned. I auditioned for a role in Titans.
Okay.
and I auditioned for a role in. There's another show. Sometimes they're quite secretive about what the show is and what the character is. The character I auditioned for in Titans, the name of the character I didn't recognize from the comics, but in its performance, I was confident I knew who it was.
Okay.
I say that as well because obviously that's an NDA situation. Yeah. But yeah, and my So in terms of the roles, I mean, obviously a lot of the great parts are already being played brilliantly by existing people. I'm really excited about Batwoman. You know.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be I think it's just going to be great to see that character in live action. I mean, obviously, I watched the Titans. I've watched the Titans trailer, but I haven't watched the thing. But obviously, I watched that, and I was like, "Oh, what a part, Dick Grayson, baby!" Oh. So yeah. I mean, I'm just staying open. There's loads of awesome characters in. There's so many characters in the DCU that have never been touched yet. You know, so technically not DC, but one character who I'm surprised they haven't done anything with. I think he's kind of within DC, but he's obviously not a bona fide DC. Is the Shadow?
Sure, okay.
I think that's a really interesting character, and I really love the Alec Baldwin movie from the 90s.
Yeah, I remember
that's a really interesting one. I'm just trying to think of others, and it all depends on what happens with the next DC movies, because, you know, with Shazam and Aquaman and then the Joker standalone movie, are we going to move more towards one-off, filmmaker-driven, kind of separate single universes, or are we going to, you know, keep mixing them together, or is it going to be, you know, a multiverse?
Yeah.
So I guess it all depends on that as well. And do we even know if Affleck's playing Batman? What's your latest scoop on that?
This is another little mystery that's been popping up online lately. Yeah. Seems to be getting in shape quickly, and he's been seen with two grips in his hand. It's speculation, but you just don't know, do you? There's so much happening now, and especially. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, and I said on another podcast that two of my, as a creator and as an actor, like two people that really inspire me in different generations is Clint Eastwood and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And they both are Warner Brothers guys that have directed, written, and starred, or directed and starred in stuff, which is, you know, what I'm doing with The Few. So I think Affleck's got unfinished business, I think, with Batman, and that's my feeling. So I'd like to see him kind of prove, I don't know whether prove people wrong is the right word, but I think I don't understand why he hasn't been. But to be fair, a lot of people go, even if they didn't like Batman v Superman, a lot of people are like, "Hey, Affleck was awesome."
Yeah.
So I think but then who's the villain? You know, I mean, are they going to put Leto's Joker in, or is he a done? You know, I'd like to see a Batman movie with Jared Leto's Joker and Affleck. I think those two opposite each other would be awesome.
It'd be cool, yeah, do like a Tim Burton all over again, but have these new guys and the new version.
Oh.
It'd be quite freaky, so yeah, throw in someone else to mix it up.
Yeah, but so to answer your question, I mean, I'm open, obviously. There's just loads of characters, and that's part of the beauty of being an actor. You don't know what's around the corner, so yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that.
Yeah. Listeners, why doesn't the people listening? Why doesn't somebody tell me who they think, who they cast me as? I've had a few people who are convinced that I was Hal Jordan in Justice League. Which I'm not going to comment on.
Okay. There you go, fans. Get a right in the blood.
Yeah.
Who you think he could have played, or who would you think he could be played, or who he could play. So, obviously, after the video, guys, there'll be some comment screens at the bottom, so you can put in some of your ideas there for Sam. So that'd be absolutely awesome. See what comes up with on there, Sam. Sam, I'll wrap it up there. I won't keep you too much more of your time this evening.
It's all right.
Joining us anyway. So, I wish you the best of luck. Guys, The Few Dark Future is coming. Get helping with the crowdfunding. Tell your friends, tell your family. Of course, definitely catch up with season 1 if you've not seen it. Absolutely brilliant. And then you'll be ready for season 2 and see what it's going to be about. So, of course, this main guy, Sam Benjamin, is going to be in that as well. So, check that out, guys. And thanks for joining us, Sam.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, just check it out. It's at The Few Series on Twitter or at Funiverse. On Instagram, I'm at Sam Benjamin now. I'll be posting all the links as well. And also just for the DC fans as well, we've got all of our action in this series is going to be directed by Sonny Lewis, who has just finished working on Wonder Woman 84.
Brilliant.
And was also part of Batman Begins as well. So we've got a lot of DC connections in this one. So yeah, get on it, check out the perks, and we think we've got one hell of a series for you.
Brilliant. We'll be sure to cover that and throughout the whole progress as well, Sam. We'll keep going on that and keep promoting that as well throughout till it's released finally. Anyway, definitely.
Thanks a lot, man, and also congrats on the growth of DC World. I've been following for a while, and it's just great to see you guys growing. And all the giveaways you do are amazing.
Brilliant.
Just really cool stuff. So yeah, it's gonna get even bigger.
I know. I really like it. We've got quite a big team. There's about 10, 11 of us at the minute, all over the world, and I think I've got a few more people who are interested in joining. So there's too much happening in the DC world at the moment.
There's a lot. Are you guys going to be at London Comic Con?
Yeah, MCM Comic Con. Yeah, we're there next weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Have you got? You guys just wandering about, or are you doing interviews? Yep. You're on a stand.
Just wandering around. I'm going to do interviews there and stuff. I'm taking me equipment, the camera and mic and everything. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll see you there.